So a couple things to start off with. First of all, good old Togashi. Next week, Hunter x Hunter manga again on break. It's going to be taking, I think, a 1-week break, and it'll return in a double issue. So also that means we probably will be having a break in a couple extra weeks, because usually when they do a double issue, that means that we're going to be going on break. But ultimately, Togashi, his laziness ain't stopping. His breaks ain't stopping. This man is the weekly Kentaro Miura with the break. So yeah, as far as that goes, expect a break next week. No Hunter chapter. Also, this chapter really just shows that Togashi is setting up a lot of subplot within the main plot. As far as, like, you have this going on here, you have this going on here. I mean, especially this chapter, like, my fucking gosh. I don't think many mangaka can handle this many subplot without creating plot holes and all sorts of shit like Togashi can do it. I mean, the dude is, like, setting up Kurapika, you know, playing lie detector right now. Then you have all the subplot with all the princes of Kakuin. It's like, oh my god, the amount of subplot in this. So, I honestly believe that it might be a huge possibility we won't even go to Dark Continent in this stretch before Togashi, because at this point I'm convinced Togashi will be taking a long hiatus at some given point, maybe by the end of this year or the middle of next year or some shit, but he's definitely going to do it. And I wouldn't be surprised if this entire time it's just a lot of subplot and building up within this setting up arc for the Dark Continent, because like a chapter like this, yet again, a lot of subplot setups and build up as far as what's to come. And it looks like this is going to be like this for a while, because, you know, between the stuff with Jing and Pariston, and then now this lie detector shit, the exams, a lot of stuff going on. And if you couldn't be fucked to read this chapter all in one go, I don't blame you. This chapter, I felt like somebody took a big bag of dialogue and slapped me in the face with it, because there was just so much to go through. I mean, people say there's some short chapters in Jump, but you can never say that about Hunter x Hunter. My gosh, it took ages for me to get through this chapter and kind of go back and look at it again, because there was just so much. So for starters, Kurapika using his powers for good use, and he's kind of trying to weed out who can be lying and the spies and everything, and especially the people in the Hunter exam. So definitely one of the big things that Kurapika is bringing to the table is his abilities. And at first I was kind of weary, like, Kurapika, we know when it comes to the spiders, he's a fucking god among men, but what could he really do, I was thinking. But now he's kind of showing one of his best traits that he can bring to the table is that he's a fucking human lie detector for the most part. There are some people that are, you know, wheezing their way through or whatever, but ultimately he's a pretty damn good lie detector. So we have one of his useful features showing right now, and that's a good thing, because I was honestly a little bit skeptical, like, Kurapika's beast, and I was glad to see him join up and be a part of the main cast again, but I was wondering, well, you know, how much use is he going to be to the voyage? Now we're starting to see some fruition of it. And one of the big subplots I was mentioning earlier is definitely this battle that was set up within this chapter between the Kakuin princes, that pretty much, I think it's going to be like 6 or 7 of them, because they said, I think the 7th one, most of his bodyguards got like rejected because they were all just stupid lying sacks of shit or whatever. But it's going to be a big battle of the princes, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if a big portion of this voyage behind the scenes really is just a battle of the Kakuin princes, and it's like the king of Kakuin is really running the show, and he's gonna have like all of his fucking sons running amok and fighting each other. And it was like, oh my god, between the lion looking dude, and then you also have psychotic serial killer Kakuin prince, it's like, how fucked up are all these princes of Kakuin gonna be if these dudes alone are just like ready to go at each other's necks? I'd imagine there's gonna be some chaos, and again, this is one of the subplots. It's like, we're gonna have this going on amongst beyond Netero, Jing and Pariston, Kurapika and Leorio trying to make waves. It's like, fucking shit. And if they're vying for the title of king, because pretty much the winner becomes king after this, then it's going to be a lot of death. There's going to be a lot of death, because they're all going to be coming for each other's head for that crown. And I think, honestly, one of the things about this voyage is, if you're going to go to the Dark Continent, especially from how hyped up it's been that it's just a catastrophe over there, you need to be going in unison, and you need to be going with a plan and everything. And this voyage just looks so messy. Before they even set out, you have the Zodiacs, which they're pretty much, you know, all kind of split up. Then you have Jing and Pariston on opposite sides of the fucking coin with all of their people inside. Then you have Beyond, that he's ready to fucking break out at any given time so he could go on his own. Then you have all the fucking princes of Kakuin. Instead of worrying about surviving in the Dark Continent, it's just going to be chaos over there. Like, Togashi is setting up, and I'm not going to lie, he is making my expectations go through the roof with all this build-up and setup that we've been going through within this arc right now, because it's like, So much is going to be going on over there. And I'm expecting just very high things, especially what his editor came out and said, what I told you guys last week, in last week's review, that pretty much he's expecting a top 3 most shocking of all time Hunter x Hunter moment. Yeah, my expectations after chapters like this again, through the fucking roof. And to be honest with you, I still, and maybe it's just me, and I reserve the right to do so, I don't trust Miltank, and I'm going to keep calling him that, but the cow dude, I don't trust him completely. He showed his hand and his ability, but what if he can use his ability? Because his ability seems a little bit intricate as well. What if he can use his ability to kind of throw Kurapika off, and Kurapika's ability itself throw it off as well? He's definitely smart, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he's maybe working in unison in the mole, and there's a way that he can get around Kurapika's ability, because Kurapika, while he can do it, is not 100% foolproof either, especially if there's somebody using an ability to fuck with his mind or something. So I'm still not going to rule him out. I reserve the right to kind of still at least look at him like, you never know with this Miltank guy. But in the end of the chapter, we get the revelation that pretty much Sayu, I believe it was called, is kind of based off of Sayuki, and that's, you know, the Monkey King and stuff like that. So I just get a little bit confused. But I believe it's Sayu. He's seemingly the traitor, but he might be a traitor as well. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's another partner in there, because it just, things seem very shady right now. And it's like, who do you trust at this point? Because there's just, again, so much fucked up shit going on. Like, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Beyond is working in unison probably with even one of the Princes of Kakuin. Maybe one of the Princes of Kakuin is going to be like, yeah, this is my guy. He's working with me. And if any of them have Beyond, if Beyond's telling the truth, because you don't even know, Beyond could say, working with you, and kill him or something, then that prince is going to have the edge. And ultimately another good build-up and setup chapter with, again, I mean, there's just going to be so much subplots going on when we do leap to Dark Continent. Hell, it's already started with King and Pariston and everything. It's like, there is so much going on right now. So each and every chapter I expect a lot of content because of the amount of things that is going to be going on during this arc. I mean, he did get rid of characters like Gon and Kitawa, which to an extent I'm a little bit sad, because especially Gon, that we might not see him for a long ass time, especially with him not being able to forge Nen or anything like that. At the very least, he's making up for it times 10 with just the amount of carnage that we're about to have within the Dark Continent arc. So good chapter, 7.5 out of 10, a lot of build up. I really wish I could say wholeheartedly maybe 3 or 4 more chapters till we go to Dark Continent, but I'm expecting at this point, especially the way things are going, we're going to have months upon months of this arc. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong completely, because I would love to go to the Dark Continent already. But the way things are going, and all these moles and all the lies and deception and everything, I don't see this arc ending soon. But let me know what you guys think. First of all, do you think that there's somebody else possibly as well besides Sayu that is a mole? Do you think that the Miltank guy, you could completely trust him, especially knowing his ability of admittance and kind of like just being able to maneuver people? It just seems a little bit off. And also, what do you think about all the subplot that's been going on? Do you think that each and every chapter is just going to be jam-packed with stuff now that we have all these things going on at once? And your thoughts on Togashi taking another hiatus yet again next week. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, you can do so as well. That'd be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.